So we are ready now for our next guest. You guys remember we're going to have on the show Jeffrey and Kathleen Kelly from the Kelly SHU. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey, April. How you doing?
I'm good. Welcome to the show, man.
Good. Oh, thanks for having us on. This is amazing. We're glad to be here.
Yeah,
Happy
totally.
to support you. Happy to support you and your cause. And
thank you.
you guys have just been great with us over the years. It's just awesome to be here with you.
Well, I mean, like talking to you guys anytime is like just a warm hug. I'm telling you, I love you guys. Like from the moment we first met, back in 2016-ish, it's just been very cool to get to know you both and to work together in this capacity and to have your support means so much. I'll never forget the first time you made the pink Kelly shoes. It was so cool.
Yes.
I was looking, and in fact, I was looking back at old posts today from 2016 when you guys first supplied some Kelly shoes for auction or for prizes, and they were a powder coated pink. And I was like, wow, that was so cool. And then another year you did like black with the pink powder coated writing on it.
Yeah, we
And
did.
like you guys have done so many different things with the Kelly
was it.
shoe.
Started a trend.
Yeah,
there.
that was a secret embellishment.
Yeah. Well, so let me
we have some new ones here for you this year, so you'll be getting those soon.
Thank you.
We can't really. They belong to you. That's your thing. So
well, thank you so much. Well, I want to make sure that I introduce you guys properly to everybody who's watching right now. I know we got a lot of viewers who are breast cancer survivors. We have viewers who are musicians. We have drummers, all sorts of people watching right now. But you guys, Jeff and Kathleen, are with the Kelly SHU, which is actually a product. It's a drum miking system for your bass drum. And then also, just as a side note, in the last few years, I think it was like 3 years ago, Kathleen, you were diagnosed with breast cancer. Is that right?
I am just about 5 years out now.
Oh my God, my math sucks.
Yeah.
Well, COVID screws you up.
It's all good.
It was 3 years without COVID.
Right. Yeah. 2 years of COVID.
Yeah.
You gotta subtract.
Yeah, I got to forget about that. So we are definitely going to get into Kathleen's story about going through breast cancer. But as I mentioned to you guys the other day, I want to kind of do this chronologically. So first, what happened in your life was this concept of the Kelly SHU. And I want to hear how this came to be, like what led up to it. I know, Jeff, that you're a drummer, but tell everybody out there how you came up with this system.
Well, I was playing drums in a local band pretty regularly. We were called the Distractions. It was a lot of fun. Group of guys, and we just played local clubs around here. And we played a club about 60 miles away from Lincoln here on a concrete floor. And forgive me, I forget my drum rug, right? So I set up on a concrete floor, and we had, of course, a traditional microphone stand for the kick drum in front of the drum kit, and my kick drum kept creeping forward and banging against the microphone stand and just creating all kinds of interference and feedback and just all kinds of problems. And it has always kind of bugged me, the look of the stand out in front of the kit.
Well, and a lot of times it actually blocks the graphic. So like I always get upset whenever I'm playing a gig and somebody puts one of those in front of my drums or like a backline kit or whatever.
Like, hey, that's our trademark.
Yeah,
it's our signature.
I go out there and I move it. I'm like, no, if you're gonna do that, it's gonna have to be over here so it's not blocking the view of our logo,
Yeah. So after we had all those problems, I came home, and this is actually a very weird but true story. I went to bed with this on my mind, and about halfway through the night, I woke up and I had an epiphany, and I drew a couple of sketches on a piece of paper that was on the counter, and I went back to bed. The next morning, I got up and I went out to the garage and I started tinkering with my idea. And I came up with a prototype Kelly SHU, and I installed it into the drum that afternoon, and I played another gig that night, and it just worked like a dream, and I had received all kinds of drummer magazines, Modern Drummer, Drum ! All of those, and I'd never seen anything marketed that was quite like this. So I looked into the patenting process, and we started there.
What year was this that this all happened?
This was in 2006.
Uh-huh.
It came from a house number, a 0.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah. Let me see.
You want to see the
I do.
prototype?
If you have it, that would be so freaking cool.
I do.
Well, because I was also wondering, I was like, what do you, like, some kind of a mechanic, or do you build things, or you do, like, what kind of background do you have in that?
You know, I think I always kind of considered myself sort of a MacGyver type person, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
Hopefully I didn't step on anybody's trademark.
Yeah.
Right.
But
yeah.
But you know, I just kind of make things work for me, you know, and so
I come downstairs and I see this string that would go from here to Dallas. Okay. And the head of his drum is off, and he's got one of our house numbers and part of a mic stand. And I'm thinking, what in the world are you doing? Wow. He goes, here, can you hold
That's
this?
the very first Kelly SHU.
Can you hold this? So he's
so crazy.
Yeah, little screw eyes around the outside. And just part of a mic stand.
Suspended this thing in the center of the kick drum. Off he went to the gig, and so from that night and that prototype came the isolated suspended shock mount, and it morphed into, of course, our last name being Kelly and it being shaped like a horseshoe. It became the Kelly SHU. We had to get rid of the circle, because
so it wouldn't be the Kelly O or something.
Right, there's a lot of
the Kelly O.
Kelly O's. It sounds like a cereal. Right. But so because some microphones are taller, you know, so that we needed a place here for the microphone and stuff. And it took a little bit of refining, probably about 3 or 4 different design changes and stuff. And we came up with something that works amazingly well. It's very, very durable. It's affordable.
That's where it came from.
And people have really caught on. I mean, I've been so humbled by all of the people that have showed their support for this product and that have helped me along the way with ideas and you know, helping us at the trade shows, and like your foundation helping us and passing the word along. Is just I mean,
we love it. I mean, I love your product. I mean, there's really nothing else like it. Like, there's nothing else that's like that even comes close, right? I mean, the only thing that I've seen is, like, you know, the pads that sit in the bottom that might hold those flat microphones, but I haven't seen anything else. And the thing is, though, is even with that pad, the microphone could, you know, possibly move around or something.
Yeah.
But with this, go ahead.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest benefits is that ours can stay self-contained inside of the drum, or with the drum when you pack and you move from show to show. It's a big benefit. You know, it just saves time, and you're ready to go at every show, you know, which is a good convenience.
With the SHU, initially we had the aluminum model when we first started. And when you first start doing trade shows, you know, everybody has an idea, and the first thing you hear is, you know what you should do? Well, we
heard that a lot.
We had never done anything like this. So of course you have to accommodate retail. And so then came the composite model, which was about half the price as the aluminum model. And it kind of introduced us to another audience of people. And what you mentioned a little bit ago was the boundary microphones, or the PZM mics. We made the flats, which we have 3 different models of this. So instead of florist foam or a pillow or duct tape, you can put the boundary mic in on flats. So it's a Kelly SHU flats. So it's kind of morphed into different
well, we got some certain different applications, and some people like to only run a PZM, some like to run 2 microphones inside of the kick drum. And so we just tried to accommodate all situations that people might encounter, you know, with miking the kick drum. And the larger toms too. I mean, we've got people that are out on tour that are using these in gong drums.
Wow.
You can get them to fit inside of toms 14 inches and larger. We have a neat little wiring harness that we sell with our product, so you can get the XLR cable out of the drum, you know, if you have closed heads on the top and bottom. And so we're just kind of adding products along the way and trying to accommodate, you know, needs of people in a economical way, so that we don't. Because I mean, we're a really small company. It's just Kathleen here and I are the only two that run this place. So we do all the packaging, all of the ordering, all of the logistics, and all of the housekeeping. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask you. Is like where is the product actually made? I mean, like you know, that whole process sounds daunting to me. I'm just wondering how it all comes together.
Yeah, we own 2 molds, and the injection molded units are made right here in Lincoln, Nebraska. We have a good friend of ours that owns a packaging company here in Lincoln, Nebraska, called Midlands Packaging Corporation, and they make our packaging for us. We have local print shops that do our print advertising and all of our printed materials.
We only have to outsource a couple of components of the product. Jeff's big dream was to have everything made in USA. So when we started, you know, cost-wise, it was crazy initially, you know, because we didn't know where to go for the product. Initially, we had a manufacturer in Minnesota that did our aluminum products, who is now out of business. So we had to hunt down another source for that. But luckily, I mean, when you look at everything that's involved in the package, we've been really lucky in getting everything pretty local. And
yep, we get our rubber products. They're sourced from Akron, Ohio, the rubber capital of the United States. Yeah. So it's all.
Always wondered where that was.
yeah, exactly. So they say. I don't know. I don't really know anybody from Akron, Ohio, personally. I don't think.
But hey,
man. But you know, and personally, I put everything together in the package. When things get thick, I incorporate her to help me do packaging and everything.
Right.
I've put in over 160,000 grommets with my thumbs.
Yeah.
It's a labor of love. I mean, but you know what? I really like to do that because it lets me see each unit before it leaves our facility.
Do you ever have a time, I mean, like with drumsticks, where you're like, oh, throw back, you know, this isn't going to cut it?
Yeah. I mean, every hook, let's say you get 40,000 hooks, you package either in 16s or 20s in a bag, and you go through each one. It literally is a labor of love. But
yeah, it's pretty daunting sometimes, but you know,
we get it done.
Yeah.
We get it done.
Yeah.
There's so many that have gone out the door in all these years. And there hasn't been many that have come back. So he didn't make a product either that you really have to buy more than once, which can be a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, the durability. I mean, we've got people that are still using the first run generation SHU Pro that we made in 2007.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool though. I mean, to have a product that durable, especially, I mean, because you haven't got to it yet, but I mean, you have, you know, a lot of touring drummers that are using this product. I mean, like name some of the people who are using the SHU.
Oh gosh, you know, we were talking about this before the program started, and there are, so many that we look up to, and that I'm so humbled that they are using a product that I designed and developed. I mean, you know, you can't, you know, you don't get much bigger than Neil Peart, who used our product for the last 10 years of his career.
Wow, isn't that cool?
you know,
go through rock.
Kiss has
Metallica.
been Eric Singer has been a huge supporter of ours for years. Metallica is a big name that we work with. A lot of the country artists, Keith Urban Tours use our products. Miley Cyrus Tours uses our products.
In genres, you know, you can go Judas Priest, Aerosmith.
Yeah, there's
Def Leppard,
I
Poison,
work
Tesla.
on the side. On the side, aside from the Kelly SHU guy, I'm also a local stagehand here in the area. So I have my hands into setting up shows and concerts and kind of working during the shows and that kind of thing as well. And I would say probably about 85% of the shows that I work in the bigger venues are using somewhat of a Kelly SHU product, either
That's
the
awesome.
Flats or the SHU, the Pro or the Composite, or the combination of the two.
I can remember the day he came home from, because he's been in stagehand union business for about 17, 18 years now. And he came home, and I think it was Alan Jackson's tour that the truck, the kit came off the truck and had a Kelly SHU in it. And he had said prior to going to work, you know, it'll be really nice someday when I go into work and I see my product come off the truck. You know, what am I going to do when that happens? And what's really funny is it happens more times than not now. And they're really shocked when they figure out that he's also a stagehand guy. And he's at the shows and he's schlepping around. He's
pushing cases and wrapping cables, you know, all of this stuff.
Yeah,
yeah, and they're like, what
are
you doing here? You know, and it's like, well, I have two roles. I'm a stagehand and I'm the Kelly SHU guy. So is there anything I can do for you? You know,
so
and
awesome.
It's just great. It's great to talk with them.
Such a love for music and the music community and everything like that, that you just kind of surround yourself with that, don't you?
We do. I mean, we both have a very musical background. I grew up in a household where my parents played country western every single weekend until I can remember. I mean, one of my first memories of life is listening to them play music in a bar, you know.
I also did.
And she has got quite a musical background with a lot of relatives that used to sing and play in big band stuff.
I play bass guitar, so I'm in a local band here, and he can't really commit to playing gigging anymore because of running our business and also doing the stagehands thing. So that allows him to run our business because he can pick and choose a lot of times when and where he works. But it's a lot of fun to keep connected and playing and doing the shows. And thank God everything's coming back. People are starting to play and shows are starting to happen.
Yeah, we are happy to see that. We're going to be going to Chicago Drum Show next weekend. We are leaving to go up and do the show. We're leaving in the morning. Yeah. And we'll be back at Canyon County Fairgrounds for everybody. Yeah, and it'll be nice to get back into that environment. Yeah. And get everybody, all of our friends, back together and be able to high five and not, you know.
Yeah, not just do your elbow with, you know, bumbling through a mask or something.
Exactly. You know, it's just I'm glad things are kind of coming back to normal, whatever that's going to be now.
Right, right. Yeah, we're all excited about that. I wanted to be sure and mention that Sean Messick is watching the show right now. He's a drummer. He says the SHU is the best thing out there, far ahead of the industry technology.
Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, loves it. That's very cool.
I've got to tell Sean and everybody else that use our product that it is we put just as much influence into our business, from the weekend warriors to somebody that has a home studio to the people that travel the world and use our products. Every single unit that goes out the door, I appreciate equally as much as the next one. So if you consider yourself a lower level drummer, to us you're not.
That's really
to us, To us, everybody that uses our product is top notch. So
there's so many people we don't know that have it, and how did they get it? You know, there's a lot of different avenues. We have distributors now, and then, you know, of course, there's a lot of different ways you can get hooked up with the product. So a lot of times we don't know, and we get an email or we get some type of message somehow, Facebook message, thanking us, or people will chime in on a post or a thread that we're on, and it's really neat to see that, you know, because you don't get to see everyone through the pandemic. Luckily, we've had a great couple of years. I think a lot of people were around and able to tinker around or get to know their kits better, or add to their collections. And
there were a lot of home studios built in the last couple of years.
But
I was going to show everybody, the Kelly SHU is actually available on Amazon. And what's cool, see, here's what we do, Jeff and Kathleen. So people can go to smile.amazon.com, select breast cancer can stick it as their favorite charity, and then buy a Kelly SHU on through smile.amazon.com, and Amazon will donate to breast cancer can stick it. So we got a double combo there, right? Where we can you know, they buy the Kelly SHU on Amazon, and then Amazon will donate to breast cancer can stick it. So I was just looking just now, and it looks like they have several of the Kelly SHUs available on Amazon. I see the composite version. They've got another one here. They've got the flats on here as well. So you could get any of those Kelly SHU products right there on Amazon. So that's really cool.
And give back to your
exactly. It's a win-win. Come on.
Yes, it is.
It's awesome. Yeah, yes, so I won't even mention how else you can get a Kelly SHU, because everybody needs to go get it.
That's the only way to get it.
In fact, they only distribute through Amazon. That's it.
Yeah, Amazon Smiles.
So, and you'll always see the Kelly SHU at Drumathon. We, for a little while there, we're giving them in the prize packs. Now they're going to be on the auction table, and everybody always loves getting those auction and being able to get a great product and support a good cause.
We want to go to Drumathon.
You guys need to come this year, man.
We do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We need you to come and see, maybe if we could get that dinner to happen, we could all go to dinner that night before.
Exactly.
That's the dream.
Very good.
It's always so great to see that.
Yeah. And I'm hoping maybe we could do a live stream this year too. We did a little bit of one last year, but I want to do a full blown one maybe this year. But I want to switch gears a little bit, because I see it's about 8:45 right now, and I want to be sure and switch gears into Kathleen's, your story just a little bit about going through breast cancer. I mean, you know, it's so crazy because, you know, I knew you before you had breast cancer, and you guys were already supporting Breast Cancer Can Stick It. And so then when you were diagnosed, it was like, wow. Tell us how you realized you had breast cancer. What was the first symptom that you had?
Well, I have worked in healthcare for 36 years. So it is just a normal thing to go and have a mammogram for me every year. I work in a hospital, and I was super busy, and it was getting towards the end of the year. And I said, my gosh, I better get in there, you know. I better just go in routinely. And that is how it happened. I had a 3D mammogram done at my hospital, and got the call, well, we think we see something and we'd like you to come back and do an ultrasound. I said, okay. So I went back in, and I wanted right away. I didn't want to wait. And it was December, Christmas time, and they ended up wanting to do a biopsy. So I went in, and I had to wait. I had that wait, which a lot of people have, and it's grueling. And it came back as cancer. It was new and small, and thank God caught. So had I not gone in and waited till the next year, who knows what would have happened. I ended up having surgery done and having radiation for 5 weeks. I did not have to have chemo. And I did not take the pill that a lot of people take for the 5 years post-procedure. And every year since, well, initially I had a mammogram every 6 months. And I'm almost 5 years out now, and so far, so good.
We're glad that we have. We're one of the happy ending stories.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, totally.
I really, it took me to not only with breast cancer, but just with your own body. You know, you are your own advocate, and you need to take care of yourself. There's not just having diagnostic testing done, but it's on you. It is on you, and you need to step up and take care of yourself. There's so many things nowadays that affect your overall health. And how did this happen? I have no idea. I don't have a history in my family. You don't need one. You don't need a family history of many things to have it happen to you. So, like I said, it's kind of on you to step up and make sure. And it's difficult for a lot of people. A lot of people don't have the resources. They don't have the connections. They don't have places that they can have these things done. And what you do is amazing, because you make it possible for a lot of people to take care of themselves.
Well, thank you. And it's as it is, it takes a village. There's a lot of people working behind the scenes to make sure that we can help folks. And definitely, like anybody who's watching and hearing this story, if you don't have the resources to get a mammogram, definitely reach out to us. You can even private message me personally, and I'm happy to help direct you in the right direction, because there are ways to get free mammograms out there. Undoubtedly, you can get a mammogram, so don't think you can't. You can get a mammogram. You can get treatment. Don't think you can't. There's all kinds of options out there. There's payment plans. There's grants. There's different things like that. There's all kinds of resources. We're really fortunate in that we have a oncology nurse on our board who is very well versed in a lot of these resources. So definitely reach out. But so your point, your point is a great one. This is a story I love to hear, because it's about somebody who was diligent and made sure that you got your mammogram. And there's a reason why they say you need to do this at certain frequency at a certain age. It's because 1 out of 8 women is going to get diagnosed with breast cancer. If you catch it early, it's a big deal, but it's not nearly as big of a deal as it could be if you catch it late. That early detection is so important. That's why keeping up with your mammograms is so important.
Completely took me by surprise. The last thing I ever thought I would ever hear.
We were blown away by even the thought that it could be cancer, and then I remember the morning she was supposed to be getting the news about the biopsy, and I'm here working, doing SHU stuff, and she comes home from work unexpectedly, and I'm like, what are you doing home from work? And then she tells me that the doctor called and said that it was positive. So that, that at that minute, you take a different path. You decide
you don't know what path to take initially,
but you're going to be changing gears. You're going to be going somewhere, but the thing is that she was super, super brave.
The momentum. You have to stay positive.
Not afraid of what might happen, but anxious to see to get through it, to get better, and to help others do the same.
She was laser focused on what had to happen. Yeah, that's great.
To me now, it's such a blur, and in any kind of trauma, I think with anyone, it's really hard to sit back and think about it, because when you're going through this, as you well know, a lot of things you don't know what to expect. A lot of your mind can take you to places you don't expect you'd ever be. And to be on this end of it and be so grateful at the same time, like we talked about before, you know, it's something you'll always think about, but I will never miss a mammogram. You know, I hope and pray that I would never have to go through anything like that again. But like I said, it's kind of up to me to make sure that I'm taking care of myself and getting it done, you know, and you just never, you don't know. You never know.
Like you said, if you can't, totally reach out, because somewhere there's going to be some help for you
Yeah,
to get what you need.
There absolutely is. And, you know, talking about taking care of yourself is, a lot of people don't know this, but if you walk just 30 minutes a day, it can reduce your risk of recurrence by 50%.
Wow.
Just walking 30 minutes a day. And I mean, that sounds easy, but you know, you have to really set forth to do that. And just that exercise, it's amazing. That's something that I feel is so important to repeat, you know, whatever Dr. O'Shaughnessy, who we have on our show quite often, told me the three main things. It was like walking 30 minutes a day, low alcohol, no more than 3 drinks a week. So it's low alcohol. And then I know not smoking was another, but I think the other was just keeping a good body weight, because being overweight, it causes problems with everything, not just, you know, can help cause cancer. It could cause a lot of other problems as well. And so, you know, we have it in front of us, what we need to do. It's just a matter of us all doing it. So I'm glad to see you're taking care of yourself. And
diet and nutrition, you know, the foods today, processed foods are so, if you think about it and you look into research on it, I think foods are a big source of health problems anymore, just because of our lifestyles and the way we tend to eat or not eat, and when we eat, and it's a huge source for obesity, and that, like you're talking about, it's just snowballs into problems. And so the more conscious you are of diet, nutrition, and like you said, exercise, we've heard it so many ways, so many times. It does take a lot of self-discipline, but at the same time, it's not that tough, you know, to just give yourself a little bit of care.
Yep.
And you'll come out better in the end.
That's right. That's a solid advice right there.
Yeah.
And thanks for sharing your story and everything that you went through. Do you have any things that have been leftover issues from radiation or any of your treatment or anything?
You know, not that I know of. I know through radiation, I was absolutely exhausted, very tired, and I didn't burn. You know, I took care of my skin. I know that was an issue that I was afraid of, but it was, I didn't know what to expect. And so I did get through it. Okay. I just remember being really tired. And after, I don't recall having any particular issues. The whole thing just being over with, and I think by not having to have chemo, because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if that was going to be in my future or not. And so, like I told you before, it's just kind of a blur. It's a few months of just some things I remember, some things I don't. I have a story that's unlike, it's my story. And
emotional support is huge too. You know, we went through it. She was the patient, but we went through it together.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you need to have the support and the backing behind you to keep you pushing and keep you moving forward. And
very, very supportive. And
I went to all of her radiation treatments with her. And
you know what's funny is I have 3 friends that I lost that have died to breast cancer. So very close friends. And so when I heard about this happening to me, immediately anything could happen, right? You just don't know. So I've always kind of felt, I don't know what you call it. People have called it survivor's guilt. I've heard it a lot of different ways, but it can happen to anyone.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And your support system is super important, because you do have a lot to do, and you need a lot of rest, and you need a lot of attention, and you have a lot of appointments, and
right. Yep. Keeping everything straight.
Yeah. But
well, yeah, and I mean, it's lucky that you have Jeff there. I know that some people don't have a significant other there with them, and maybe they have a church family, maybe they don't have a church family, and I'm glad to see that social media. There's a lot of positive things about social media, and a lot of these support groups out there are really fantastic. Where people, and even sometimes people that have families and friends that are supportive. I've noticed that there are cases where somebody's going through treatment and maybe they don't want to be completely honest about what they're feeling or what they're going through because they don't want to upset their family or friends, but they can come into these support groups on Facebook and really share their feelings with people who really understand where they're coming from. So I know that you're a part of the Breast Cancer Can Stick It group. It's a Survivors Rock Breast Cancer Can Stick It community. And I think that everybody in that group is so supportive and just really lifts each other up, for all the varying degrees of what folks are going through, whether they're 20-year survivor and maybe down about something related to their breast cancer in the past, or scared, or somebody who's going through treatment right now. Everybody tends to lift each other up, and as survivors, we all kind of stick together. So I think that's a really good thing.
It's a great forum for that. A great forum for that. You need people, you need people that can hear you, and just having somebody there, because not everybody has someone like I did. And like you said, it's real important, and your family can tire of you not feeling well, and just so many different scenarios, so having a support group of any kind, anywhere that you can connect with is like just having those friends, that connection. Gives you that strength, to get through it.
I want to be sure and let you know that Kiali'i says thank you for sharing your story and for being so transparent. So got a lot of people commenting.
You're more than welcome. It's hard. I don't talk about it much, and I appreciate you having me. And it is a story. It did happen very unexpectedly, and I'm happy to have a good ending to my story. So far, so good. And I hope it stays that way.
Yeah, 5-year mark is good, a good place to get to for sure. And I mean, I said, yours is a great. I mean, every story is inspirational, and I think that your story it really speaks volumes in the whole idea of making sure you keep up with your breast health, and you're getting your mammograms, you're talking to your doctor if you see anything odd at all. And when I say that, I'm talking like, people are always like, oh, well, if I have a lump, then that's when I'm going to get worried. Well, you could have a visual change to your breast and it could be breast cancer. So any changes you have, you got to report that to your doctor. So I think that your point of early detection and the success that you've had as a result of that just speaks volumes. It really does. Really does.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I would say that is probably the biggest thing. If anybody asked me, I would say the early detection is where it's at.
Key.
Yeah, totally.
That is where it's at. So
I
I was just going to tell you, I have a question that I always ask all the different breast cancer survivors we have in the show. It's kind of a weird one, but what would you say is the best thing that came from going through breast cancer?
My outcome is a result of me taking care of myself and me being the advocate for myself instead of putting things off, to realize how important it is. And I'm the only one. I remember my mom always used to say, you know, you have your health. You have one shot at your health. It's all you get. She was right. And I think the best thing is my awareness now of me being responsible and accountable for my health.
Well, I think that has a lot of times has trickled down to me and some things too. You know, if after seeing her strength and courage, and knowing that hitting something head on like that is what's going to win the battle, I find myself doing that with just daily chores now. You know, kind of a wow. You know, she went through all of that stuff. What I really need to
perspective,
step
right?
up and maybe vacuum the rug down here. Or, you know, something, you know, do something positive. Okay. I mean, because I'm, you know, I'm not.
Yes, really get him to the chores.
But I mean,
I get your point. It's like perspective.
She's taught me a lot. Of
totally.
About that. You know, it's been.
You have to. You know, we get busy. We get going, and we go, and we go, and we go, and you don't always slow down enough to realize what you really need to pay attention to. And I lost a sister to cancer. It was not breast cancer, but it was lung cancer. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that she took care of everyone but herself. And she didn't eat well, she didn't sleep well, and she drank a lot of coffee and smoked a lot of cigarettes. And it got her. It got her at a very young age. And those types of things can happen when you put everything else in front of you, and everything else becomes more important than you, and who is going to take care of you. Sometimes we expect too much of other things and other situations to take care of ourselves, and it doesn't work that way. You're the one that's got to do it. So through all of that happened, I think me being accountable for what needs to be done to get down the road as far as I can get, it's up to me. You know, that's what I think I learned from all of it.
A great thing to come to realize, for sure. I want to be sure to let you know that Joseph Lee says that it definitely raises the awareness factor. Great story and very inspirational. So he's thankful that you told your story. And
thank you.
Thanks, Joseph.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Lori Peters, she was with Skillet, and she was actually a celebrity guest at 3 of our drumathons so far. She said that she didn't want to talk about her breast cancer either, but when she found out that there were survivor drummers, she was all in to talking about it. So
nice.
That's really good. Thanks for being here, Laura.
Well,
yeah.
It seems like that I saw her at a gig not too long ago.
Maybe
somebody said, "Yeah, that's the new drummer for Skillet."
Oh, she's actually the former drummer for Skillet, Lori.
Oh, she's before Jen Ledger.
Yep, exactly.
Oh,
yep.
Okay, excuse me. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. No, it's kind of cool that they had 2 female drummers, though. You know, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Jen's amazing as well.
I love Skillet. We have seen them several times. Boy, they're a powerhouse band.
They are. They're awesome. And Joseph also said that you guys are truly a power couple to go through it together and come out victorious.
Oh, cool. Yep.
Well, we feel very blessed, very lucky, and very happy that here we are, and the business keeps going. It's just, we're just living life, you know, and together we get it done.
Yep. You know? And I'm sorry, I'm looking at the comments coming in. I want to make sure and tell you guys when people are saying stuff to you. But Mandy said Mandy says that she thinks as women that we tend to put ourselves low on the totem pole. So, you don't like look out for yourself. And somebody told me something a long time ago that has stuck with me. I think it was my pastor at a church, like before I got breast cancer even. She said, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of someone else. And I was like, duh, it makes so much sense. And that's kind of, I have to keep pulling myself back because when breast cancer can stick it, I'm constantly wanting to do that to help other people. But like even last night, I was like going. I was like, all right, I'm gonna sit still for an hour. I'm just gonna do nothing, even though it's just an hour. It was something. Yeah, I'm like, I just need to like chill out for 1 hour, and I'm gonna do that again probably after the show tonight, and then I gotta start getting ready for an event tomorrow night. So like y'all, and y'all are flying out tomorrow morning to Chicago. It's gonna get crazy.
Yeah, well, we drive. She likes to stay on the ground.
Cool. That's good.
So
that's cool.
She does all the driving. I'm a great passenger.
Incorporate a little bit of my vacations for the last
12 years.
Since Kelly SHU's inception have been drum shows and trade shows.
Yeah, so you guys get to be adventurous and go out and
exactly.
That's cool. So I love road trips. So
make it all little adventures and it comes out great.
Yeah, we try and mix a little bit of trip in with the business deals and stuff.
We do that too. Like when we do NAMM this year, we're going to go to Disneyland afterwards. And then
there you go.
I'm not going to get a chance in Nashville. I wish I would get a chance, but Nashville's going to be a short trip to the Music City Drum Show, which, by the way, JC.
I cannot wait to see you there.
Yeah, JC is on right now, and he.
Good. Hi, JC.
He hollered at you guys too. I got to find his comment. I scrolled past it here. He said,
"Never know what JC's gonna say."
Yeah, he said Jeff and Kat. He was just excited to see y'all. So.
Oh, nice.
All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys joining the show tonight. It was so great to get to talk to you guys a little bit more than normal. We're always flying past each other, so it's really nice.
Yeah, we are. It's always a fast-moving environment at the trade shows and stuff. But April, I'm just honored that you asked us to be guests on your show.
Absolutely.
And again, I mean, the things that you do and the help that you provide for people is just priceless, heroic, and just outstanding. So keep up the great work. You and your team are wonderful people.
I am very blessed to have absolutely. I'm blessed to have a wonderful team behind me because it, like I said, takes a village, and it's all the different pieces of the puzzle that make it great, and you guys are a piece of that. So thank you so much for being here tonight, for contributing year after year to Drumathon. It just keeps us moving forward. I love you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you guys in Nashville.
You too, April. I hope you have a great event tomorrow, and I'm going to review the tape and listen to what Carmine has to say.
Yeah.
You'll have to watch that. Yeah, great. You guys have a good evening.
It's been a great night.
Yep.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yep. Yeah, you guys have a great evening. Thank you for joining tonight.
All right.
You're welcome, April. Bye. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. That was Jeff and Kathleen from the Kelly SHU, man. Awesome people.